Hey, good morning and welcome. I'm Karen, this running Extreme Coaching and Tarot. Today's Tuesday. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. And hope your week is going well. So this is our daily reading. I'm sticking with the Somnia right now. Probably will for the remainder of the week. I am going to be out of town Thursday through Sunday. I might be able to post Thursday, but I probably won't the remainder of the week. I might do my shorts, but I'll just not have time to sit down and do entire readings. I can maybe do 3-card ones. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna say I will, say I won't, because who knows? So let's get started here. Okay, what do we got? What do we have going on? Current situation. 3 of Wands, present influence. Hangman, future influence is the Knight of Swords. Unexpected, Queen of Wands, challenge. Page of Pentacles, strength is 9 of Wands. And where does this lead? Okay, 5 of Wands, Queen of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, advice, Empress. Bottom of the deck is 6 of Swords. Like, yeah, you're kind of like working on making something better. This isn't necessarily like leaving something behind, but what I do feel a lot with the 6 of Swords is, you know, a recognition of something that's not quite right, and you're working on making it better. It is about going out of rocky waters, but that's part of it, right? You're realizing that this thing is rocky, or not stable, or not great, or not good. So what do I need to do to move forward? And you know how to get there. So that's what I feel like you're working on. The 3 of Wands is in the current situation, which, I mean, this is a nice card regardless, because it's, you know, you're at a point where you're seeing things come together and you're going, I think things are starting to click. That's what I'm feeling, like things are just starting to click, because it comes from looking at things a little differently. If you've done the same thing over and over again, it's not quite working, but that's the 6 of Swords for you. You've really taken that time to say, this isn't working right, so I'm going to look at something a little differently now so that I can really, you know, get out of a funk, do this differently, get a promotion. This could be anything. It is collective, so take that as it resonates. But you are seeing things come together, and that's because of, between the 6 of Swords and the Hangman, you've really, you know, you've really put things together here. Like, it's good. It's good stuff. And I'm not going to clarify the Hangman, but I will clarify the 3 of Wands. Is there anything on this 3 of Wands that we need to know? I just feel like the Hangman speaks for itself, especially with that 6 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Makes complete sense. Things are flying. That is the Ace of Pentacles, by the way. King of Swords, Queen of Swords flipped. Okay. What do we need to know? Ace of Pentacles. It needed to come out. So yeah, this is something that you've been, working on. So Ace of Pentacles, that new, there's something new, a discovery. We do have the Page of Pentacles in the challenge. The strength, you've been hanging in there with this new opportunity. Something's been hard about it, though. The strength card doesn't mean things are easy. It means you're handling them. And then you have the 8 of Swords. So what you are seeing is how to get out of this 8 of Swords. And I feel like that's what's coming together for you. But it does kind of stem from some kind of new opportunity where you feel like there's something there where you've really had to be strong about it. And therefore it's like, how do I keep going? It feels to me like the new opportunity, while it was good, it probably was it was hard with that strength card, really sticking to something or dealing with it. You've dealt with it. The strength is positive in the sense that you're dealing with it and that you have the strength to endure. However, it's not necessarily an easy card. To be strong through something is not always easy. Matter of fact, it's usually not easy. So the future influence is the Knight of Swords. I'm going to clarify that, see what's coming in. This feels it's going straight in there. It feels to me like this could be an opportunity, but it also could be some kind of, it feels a little bit chaotic to me. It might need to happen, right? Need to mix things up. However, it does lead to conflict. So let's see what this Knight of Swords is. Temperance, Three of Wands, and Page of Pentacles. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is also in your challenge. Page of Pentacles is here. Temperance is about balance. Three of Wands is in the center of this. So there is something that was probably needing a little bit of emotional stability or balance. And this is what you're kind of seeing now, that I feel like this is what you're working through. However, there's some kind of discovery happening here that kind of is going to become a challenge, and that's that Knight of Swords. So that Knight of Swords is actually your challenge as well, to keep things together, to stay consistent, to keep moving, and that's in the challenge as well. So I do feel like that's like something's going to happen, and it's literally going to shake you up a little bit, but because you feel like things have with the Three of Wands there, you feel like, oh my gosh, things have really, stabilized, but this is going to come in and kind of almost feels like a test, and not a test like from the divine, but more like a test for yourself, which could absolutely come from your higher power for sure. We have the Queen of Wands in the unexpected. I feel like you're going to handle this really well, and that's what's unexpected about it. Even though it's a challenge, the Queen of Wands is going to handle it with, a smile on their face, and even if you have to put on, a little bit of an act, maybe it's not quite how you feel, but you have to do that. I think it's a good thing, and sometimes it's okay to, like, we don't always like to put on an act. I don't want to necessarily show my fake face, because I don't, I'm not necessarily always happy or this or that. But you know what? Sometimes that's part of being strong, is not letting someone always see how something's affecting you. Because if it's work, especially, some people don't always need to know, like, if something's bothering you, or especially if it's personal. But even so, like, people tend to, can, and not everybody, you know, feast on your weaknesses, especially in like work environments. If it's a large work environment, you don't know the people personally and they don't know you, they don't care. They're looking out for themselves, and I almost feel like, yeah, well, you don't let them bring you down, because they need to see you as tough, and yeah, you're not going to bother me. You're not going to do it. And that's the Queen of Wands, because she's very, lighthearted. She has fun. She enjoys life. And, if you let someone think that they're getting under your skin, even if they are, then that gives them more power. And if someone's not being nice or fair or honest, the last thing we want to do is give them more power. And it almost, like, that Queen of Wands can bring out a lot of confidence as well, because does that make sense? I don't always believe in being fake, but sometimes you have to use a tool, and sometimes when you use those tools, you can see the better of yourself in it as well, and which helps you grow and move forward. So let's clarify the Queen of Wands just to see what this is. I feel very, very strongly about that. Yeah. So the Six of Pentacles, which is something's not being an equal give and take. And I feel like the Chariot is that's coming in. And that's the realization that, yeah, I got to make a decision here. And the decision is to be strong with it. And right now act like it doesn't bother me, even if it does, you'll win in the long run with the Nine of Pentacles. So, yeah, and that's why I'm going there, because I see how it ends too. So the challenge is the Page of Pentacles, which I feel like is directly related with that Knight of Swords. And then we have the strength is the Nine of Wands, which you know, you will endure. You will. I mean, it's almost saying like you will. It's not even that this is your strength, that this is, you're just going to. I feel like it might feel hard, but you're almost there anyway. There is a conflict that comes in, but I think you're ready to deal with it with the Queen of Wands energy and persona that you're going to be taking on. This situation is not easy, but I feel like you're going to attack it smartly. And the reason why I say it's not easy is because there's something here that's challenging you. With you make a discovery, or you undercover something, or something's under discovered for you, and you know that's the challenge. You're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good truth here. So, however, it does lead to a conflict. So let's talk about the Five of Wands. What is the Five of Wands in the few, or where this leads? What is the Five of Wands? So the Five of Wands is conflict. It's also, you know, determining how much energy to give something. But I feel like you're going to be conflicted about this situation. There's something that bothers you about it. And so that's what leads to the conflict. It's not like, oh, person bad, me good. It's there's more to it than that. You know, it goes deeper, so that becomes a conflict. Tell me more about this Five of Wands. Six of Cups, Emperor, and Nine. Yeah, so something happened. Yeah, it makes it harder because there is something in the past here with the Six of Cups and the Emperor. So maybe this is someone that's um, a situation maybe in the past that you weren't quite in control of, but it was important to you with the Nine of Cups. And this is reminding you of that, or this is that Emperor kind of in the background here. This isn't about them, but it is. Like it's, you know, there was a dream here. It's almost like that someone might be using that. I don't know, but that's the kind of what I'm feeling, like using some kind of knowledge um, of a situation you had in the past where maybe someone was trying to take control. And I feel like this is really about work or some kind of group of people um, around you. But I do feel like be careful. I really feel like be careful here. Like I'm getting that. I feel like you'll overcome it as long as you be careful about to show too much weakness. There's something here that's telling me that over and over with that queen, with that, even that Page of Pentacles, with the Knight of Swords. I keep getting that energy like, don't let someone know. And so when that happens, like when I'm going to tell you not to let someone know, this isn't a personal relationship. This isn't a lover or a family member or someone that's important to you. This is, you know, someone at work that you don't know maybe, or only have heard of, or you only have a little bit of, um, you know, you don't talk to them that often. They may know your name, you may know their name, but that's about it. And, or it could even be like if you're buying a house or something like that, just like someone might be, you know, not quite, they may need to get ahead or do something that benefits them. And the only way they see to do that is to undermine you. And that's the feeling I'm getting. So overall, that's the feeling I'm getting. So whether it's work or whether it's some kind of outer situation, maybe it's a group of people, some kind of group that you're in, or working on some kind of contracts. I really am getting the feeling of be careful here a lot. So we have the next is the Queen of Swords. I'm going to clarify the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, though, I feel like once you get through this conflict, which I don't feel like is long lasting, you'll know exactly which way you want to go and how you want to move forward. And I feel like this is very strong. You're going to take a strong stance here. You go from the Queen of Wands, I'm not going to show you that you're upsetting me, to now it's my turn. And it's like an attack, but I don't think it's an attack in a vindictive way. It's an attack in, this is the right thing, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to get there. And you know this. So I don't feel like you're going to be vindictive, or it's more of a, I'm taking a stance here. And I feel like I'm going to make sure that I'm seen in the light I want to be seen in, not what someone else wants me to be seen in. And I just feel like there's some real conflict here. I do. But I think in the end, with the Nine of Pentacles there, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. So tell me about this Queen of Swords. Let's get a little bit more on this, but I do feel like that's your logical, I've got this. And she's facing the whole reading and she's just, okay, this is what I got to do. It's the plans. It's the, yeah, kind of putting blinders on. I'm not going to let this happen. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Nine of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the Hierophant. So yeah, you're definitely, it's not easy. This is something you're stressed about a little bit. And 10 of Wands is, yeah, this has become such a burden that I feel like you're committed to fixing it, leveling up to with the Hierophant because they are, you know, um, pretty important. So just, know that you really got to, um, I think, yeah, you're going to be using that knowledge. And I like it because it made me feel good. Um, Even though this has been stressful and hard, Nine of Swords to the Ten of Wands, both are hard cards. You're committed to, I want to say, be true to yourself and to what you believe in, and to, if there's any actions that you've done that you have to justify. But I don't think so. I think it's more like I'm moving forward with this sword instead of, you know, just allowing myself to gallivant around. This, yeah. Not only gallivant, but, like, be lighthearted about it. You're not. You're going to be very succinct and very direct. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, and where the last piece, the third card out. So I do feel like this is really good because the Nine of Pentacles, you're gonna absolutely see that you can be successful. You just got to stick with your guns here. You really got to stick to what you're doing and doing the right thing, I believe, as well, because if you don't do it right, you're not going to feel good about it anyway. Um, Nine of Pentacles here. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like that is definitely something happens here. I do. I feel like something happens here where whoever this is trying to, they're going to come around with that King of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, I feel like it's going to be a balance. Remember, we had the Temperance there too about balance. And I feel like, yep, they're going to balance out. They're going to not cave, but definitely listen. The King of Cups to me is that energy of going with the flow, and the Queen of Cups is kind of that feminine part of that. So there is a feeling to me where you'll come together here and work things out because you know what's going on. You're the Nine of Pentacles. You have this strength, whatever the situation is. You're, quote unquote, I want to say, the expert, or you're the one. And this person, it's not like, I don't know if they're doing it vindictively as much as they're doing it because they need to either save face or prove themselves, and they're working that through you. And it's not a matter of a personal thing. I feel like it's more a matter of you just happen to be a means to their end. And I feel like when the way this goes, and I don't think this is long lived, so just kind of stick with yourself. And again, that Queen of Wands energy will surprise you, but you're going to use it. And, this won't take long because, again, this is a daily reading. So this comes out in the next week or so where, okay, see? Don't, like, it's almost like, see, told you. But you won't say that because you'll be the Queen of Cups in that. You're going to be nice about it. So the Empress is in your advice, and I just really feel like this is taking care of things, but it's also, staying true to yourself and taking care of yourself along the way, making sure that you don't back down, but also making sure that you don't get vindictive as well. This is about being true to who you are, being true to the people around you, but most importantly, taking care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself and you're honest about it, then this will work itself out, you know. Again, that Queen of Swords to me is important too, because you've got to have that plan. But the Queen of Wands is going to be important because you are going to say, I can't let this bother me. And even if it does, I can't let them see that. And it is stressful because you go from the Five of Wands to the Queen of Swords, which was clarified with that Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands. That's not easy. But once you put that plan into place and commit to it, then you're going to overcome it. And that's taking care of yourself. So that's that Empress there. So there's your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know. Take care and have a beautiful day.